Hello and welcome. Good evening. Thank you all so much for joining us for yet another week of the Upskill Forum. For those of you who don't know us and you're new to the show, my name is Vince and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Agile Consulting Group, and I'm here with
Thaddeus, also known as TJ. I am the president and co-founder of the Agile Consulting Group. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So happy that you're here with us. Sorry that we're getting started just a few minutes late. Technology is amazing, and sometimes it just doesn't work right.
Yeah, that's one thing about technologies. You can never predict how it's going to work, but guess what? You got to be agile and just go with it. So thank you all so much for your patience. As you all are coming into the room today, go ahead, for our friends that's on Clubhouse, go ahead and ping someone to join you for today's discussion around what makes a good leader. For those of you that are watching via Facebook Live, please go ahead and start that watch party. Go ahead and share this video. I don't even know if watch party is a function on Facebook anymore, but for those of you who may still have the functionality to do so, go ahead and start that watch party. Share this with your network. Tag some individuals in your comment section underneath this video that you think could be can really receive some great nuggets from today's topic as we'll prepare to jump into that. TJ, how's your day been?
My day's been very good. We had a unique event take place today in the denomination that we serve, and we had some technology, wonderful things that happened there too. So it's really been a great, eventful day. Overall, the weather's good here in Wisconsin.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, the snow is melting.
Is it?
It's about 40 something degrees outside. It feels like there's a heat wave. Obviously, you haven't stepped outside today.
I have not.
But it's been really, really nice.
Nice.
How about you?
The day has been good. It has, been busy overall. Lots of things to do, lots of things to get done. I'm actually thinking of things that I need to get done even tomorrow. But
the wheels are turning.
It's always turning. But that's one of the joys of being Vince is the wheels are certainly always turning for sure. For those of you who are watching via Facebook Live, type in the comment section, how has your day been? We like to hear from you all. And share with us how your day is going. So today's topic is what makes a good leader. What makes a good leader? We know what a bad one looks like, right? Lazy,
tacky, maybe unprofessional. But when I think about what makes a good leader, everybody has a different definition, right? You may think you're a good leader, but you honestly are a really bad leader. Or you may actually be a bad leader, but maybe you think you're a bad leader, but maybe everything you're doing doesn't make you a bad leader. Maybe there's just a couple tweaks you need to make. So I think there's a really good topic tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to dive into this topic as well. I know it's so easy for us to become critical of leaders, especially if we never served in a leadership capacity. We don't always acknowledge all that it requires and that it takes to complete the task of a leader. But to my leaders that's out there watching today's episode, thank you for your leadership. We know that it is not easy, but as I thank you, I also want to encourage and challenge you to continue on your education as a leader as well, so that you can keep up with the times and that you can remain an effective leader for a time as such as these. So we're going to dive into our quote of the week. Our quote of the week. Did you want to do the honors or did you want me?
I want you to, Vince.
Okay.
Because you're a leader.
Okay, awesome. But that's also a leadership quality because I also offered it to my counterpart an opportunity as well. And I like to remain unassuming as a leader. So a true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. So that quote is by someone unknown, but such a powerful and true quote. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. A part of being in leadership does require you to sometimes stand alone. Because you won't always necessarily be received by your team immediately, at least until you earn their respect. And also, too, another factor is as a leader, you're required to make tough decisions. And guess what? Everybody may not like the decisions that you have to make as the leader. And that's why that saying goes, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
It's true.
And then compassion to listen to the needs of others. If you're leading people, guess what? You have to listen to them. Even the things that they have to say that aren't so nice, that may be said about you, your team, or even a reflection of your efforts.
I agree with that.
All right. So our first topic is knowledge and understanding. It is extremely important as a leader for you to have knowledge in the area in which you're serving. And you also have to have a good understanding. When you have a good understanding and you have knowledge, this is going to help you to become a better teacher, a more effective communicator. It will help you to become that much more relatable. And then guess what? People will start to have trust and faith in you as their leader.
No, I agree. Knowledge and understanding is so important. When you think about knowledge, it's not always that you're necessarily book smart, right? It's not always that you know everything based off of what you've researched. Experience gives you knowledge. I oftentimes think about some of the more seasoned individuals that have lived a little bit longer. They'll say you'll understand it better as you continue to live, right? It's the same thing even when you think about knowledge. Not necessarily saying that you know everything, but it's important as a leader that you've done your research, that you've talked to other individuals, that you can share and glean from what you have experienced as a leader. When I think about a lot of the positions that I've had the opportunity to serve in, I've gotten better over time. There were often times that I would go into a situation and base it off of what individuals have told me, but from really being knowledgeable, understanding some of the information that I've, done my own research on, but also have gleaned from counterparts and things like that, it's allowed me to be more of an effective leader.
I love that. One key point that you shared, TJ, that I really, really liked. You said that you didn't have all of the skills that you needed right away. And that just goes to show and share with you all that leaders are lifelong learners. If you are a leader and you stop learning, you think that you've mastered it, you got it in the bag, guess what? That is actually a telltale sign of the ineffectiveness of your leadership ability, because we should be ever learning as time continues to progress, which is a great segue into our next talking point: skills and ability. It is important that you have the skill set and the ability to do what it is that you're even asking your team to do. When I was in management, one of the things that I prided myself in is knowing how to do every single last person on my team's job. It wasn't that I necessarily wanted to do their job, but it was important to me to know how to do their job, because when it was time for me to coach, when it was time for me to develop that talent, it was a lot easier for me to speak to it, because guess what? I had the experience in that particular area. So I understood that, okay, this is when the system prompts X, Y, and Z. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to now start implementing this piece of information. Or I know and understand that this is a common question that comes up, and here's how you overcome that objection, pardon me. So those are some of the advantages of having the skill set and the ability.
No, that's really good. And when you think about skills, when you think about ability, it's very unique from a standpoint of you can oftentimes have the skill set, but when you think about, I'm actually saying this wrong. You may have the ability to do the job, but it's also very important that you have the skill set to know when to allow someone to help you. You can't do everything by yourself. I oftentimes say it's not always what you know. You can know how to do things and be very skillful in it, but if you don't know how to really work with the other individuals that you're working alongside, making sure that you are using the resources that are giving to you, you can honestly end up being a very bad leader based off of how you operate. So it is so important that you think about really gleaming the information that you've been given.
Absolutely. And teamwork. Teamwork is so important. When we think of teamwork, nobody respects a leader that's not willing to jump in and get their hands dirty. You know, most leaders that are respected are the ones that will.
No, I agree with you. I'm just laughing thinking about a leader that.
Okay, got it. Most leaders are most effective and most respected when they're willing to get into the paint with you, and they're showcasing teamwork.
The reason I was laughing at Vince, because I was thinking about a leader that I worked with who never wanted to lead by example. He was always telling you what to do, how to do it, but he would never get in and help do it. So oftentimes I think about, I've helped individuals move, right? And I'm usually I'm usually the individual that is leading, telling everybody what to move. I'll hand everybody the boxes, but I'm not usually the one, really helping and being that leader that jumps in. So when I think about it from a, moving standpoint, like actually helping someone move or myself moving, those are areas that I could do better in. And literally the people that are helping me are like, are you going to do something? Because, this is your stuff, right? It's the same thing, even from a leadership standpoint. You want to be that individual that is in the paint. You want to be that individual that is really engaged and not just pointing the finger saying what to do and how to do, but you're actually also doing it. How many of you have managers that they can help with the job? You guys are struggling in the paint, trying to get things done. Maybe you work, in retail and the lines are long and the manager can actually come and help cashier or help, unload that truck. Or maybe you work in customer service and it's in a call center, right? And they can jump in and help with those calls, but instead they're doing other things. That teamwork piece, in my opinion, as a leader, makes a huge difference. And I think it also makes the other individuals on your team feel empowered, makes them feel that they actually matter and that you want to help them. In addition to that, it also makes, to me, the team perform better because they see that you're engaged and want to assist.
In grade school, we used to call, we learned so much in grade school. And I think that we oftentimes just kind of disregard those things. But in grade school, think about first, second grade, we used to have an activity we call show and tell. You would bring an item that you valued or that you cherished, and we would show the class that item, and then we would tell them about it, how to use it, instead of just telling. Many of us as leaders have mastered the art of telling, but we have not mastered the art of showing. And the reason why a lot of leaders don't have the ability to show is because they've never done it before. They never used it before. But great example, TJ, next time me or someone else is moving, because I'm usually the one to call him out and say, bro, you are doing a lot of delegating, but not a lot of the heavy lifting. And he normally debates me on it, but now I have a piece of evidence I can replay to him to show him. Remember, you admitted to this on February 23rd, 2021.
But Oftentimes individuals need someone to help put the puzzle together, and I'm usually the one putting the puzzle together.
But you could put the puzzle together and also help as well. Show and tell. All right, moving along. Vision. It is so important for a leader to have vision. If we even relate this to biblical terms, the Bible says, without a vision or a lack of vision, the people perish. I'm paraphrasing, but you read your word. You're a theologian, so you should know what I'm talking about. Amen. So, it is important to have vision. People that are following you have to know where they are headed. If you cannot communicate a vision, guess what? People aren't necessarily loyal to the leader. They're loyal to the vision.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a vision and they're not a part of something, they're not a part of a movement, guess what? You'll start seeing people hop off of your team one by one. So you have to be a leader with vision.
I agree. I mean, vision is so important. Even if you think about it, and let's take this to our secular jobs and what we do every day. How many of you have morning huddles with your team to kind of set the tone for the day, set the vision for the day? And then after that, maybe have a monthly team meeting that also shows and highlights what we're doing for the next, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, even what are we doing for the next year. It's so important to articulate your vision to the individuals that are following you, because if you are not telling individuals what you're doing, you're honestly creating a circus. You are creating an atmosphere where individuals are just coming, week after week, coming to work, but they're just doing a job. You could be so much more effective if you articulate your vision, if you share what it is that you want to accomplish. I mean, I think Vince hit it on the head. People want to be a part of something that's going somewhere. Are you an individual that just kind of comes in every single day and just go with whatever happens, right? That's unhealthy for the corporation. That's unhealthy for the employee. That's unhealthy for even if it's in a relationship. If you think about vision, individuals want to know, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's getting ready to happen next versus we live by the week. Week to week, we figure out what happens. If you want to be a good leader, you need to have a vision, but you also need to articulate that vision to the individuals that are following you. And also, don't have other individuals share that information. You need to share it as the leader.
Absolutely. Be a risk taker. Leaders take risk every day. Anytime you hire an employee, guess what? You are taking a risk, my friend, because you don't know or you can't predict how that individual is going to perform. So that's a risk. Sometimes you, as a decision maker, you're taking a risk because you may not have everyone on board with the direction that you want to lead the team in. So every day as a leader, like, you're taking risk. You're taking the risk of making a decision that someone may not like. You take the risk of, having to sometimes lead alone because no one wants to follow, in that direction in which you're headed. But that doesn't mean that you quit. But the higher the risk, the greater the reward. And it requires, in order to tap into greatness, we have to take risks.
And being a risk taker, honestly, it's okay as a leader. We talked about this as one of our first key points of standing alone. Everybody's not going to go with you. Be okay with people not always trusting and willing to go with you. But if you have really set a good game plan and you've thought this thing through, sometimes you have to be willing to take risks. I don't think any leader has gotten to the place that they are by not thinking outside the box, by not being willing to see willing to take a risk. You have to understand the risk of the things that you're doing. And there's always going to be a cause. There's always going to be effect. There's always going to be things that go well. And there's always going to be things that will go bad for any strong leader, right? But it's okay. And you regroup, you become agile, right? You change and you pivot to make sure that the next time you're able to do things differently and better.
And it's okay to have to rebuttal, sometimes and go back to the drawing board or the meeting table. It just comes with the territory. And then you must also value others. And that'll tie also into recognition and encouragement. People perform when they are recognized, when there's some type of honor system or reward system there. You have to celebrate your employees' wins and their victories.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always focus on what they did wrong, but you should sandwich information. And what I mean by sandwich is you mix good, room for improvement, good, room for improvement, good, room for improvement, instead of bad, 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 good, or good, bad, 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 bad. But sandwich that information. And even when you sandwich that information, you have to be very tactful in how you do that. I can say, TJ, you did a very excellent job on that project that I had you to oversee.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as you continue to grow into your project management role, there are some excellent growth opportunities that are available for you. You did an excellent job displaying and going over the information, very strong presentation skills. I think there's opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for you to take time to better understand the topic, in which you presented on to make for a more powerful presentation. Keep up the great work. I'm excited to see what you continue to do in the future.
No, I love that. And for me, recognition is really just as simple, in addition to what Vince said, as saying thank you. Thank you goes a very long way. I always say thank you makes room for more. Thank you opens up the door. Just say thank you when someone does something very good. And what if they don't do it very good? Still tell them thank you, but then kind of like Vince said, give those suggestions. I've worked for so many individuals that they feel like that's their job. That's what they should do. If a person feels valued, if a person feels like you actually care, you're going to get more out of that individual based off of your response. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in early today, knowing that we were short-staffed. Thanks for staying late. Thank you honestly means the world to me as a contributor in any organization that I've ever served in, that I've worked in. It takes nothing just to say thank you.
And I like to add as well, and this is just my personal opinion, but as you're even implementing a reward system or an honor system,
Mm-hmm.
As a leader, hold your team accountable to that. And don't just give it away,
Mm-hmm.
because then it takes away the integrity of your honor system and of your reward system that you have. So hold your teams accountable to it, and make it something that they're excited about and that they want to continue to work toward.
Absolutely.
And then right before we hop into Q&A, the last topic is delegate. TJ, take us away with this one. I think that you're an excellent delegator.
Delegation is so important. And one thing that I want to key on when we talk about delegating, delegate to the right people. Understand their skill set, know what they do well. Don't just give people a task because they're there. Maybe as a leader, you need to help bring out that skill set so that they can do well in that area, but definitely make sure when you delegate, you're delegating to the right person. Don't feel like you need to do everything by yourself. It should not be a one-man show. If you have a team of individuals as a leader, if you are not helping the team by delegating, it's no different than, and I'll use LeBron James for instance, or Michael Jordan, individuals that are really good in the area that they play in, right, in basketball, but they can't carry the team by themselves. And if they try to, oftentimes they may get pretty far, but somewhere down the line, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to get tired, right? So think about delegation. Think about passing the ball so that you can be effective in the areas that you work in, but also it helps your team feel valued. If an individual knows that they're needed, they're going to work harder for you. But again, you have to tell them thank you. You have to recognize them when they do things well, but don't try to be the superstar. I oftentimes tell individuals, if you're the leader of the team, if your team does well, that means you did well. That means you look good. If your team does bad, that means you look bad, right? So understanding that it's okay to delegate. It's okay to ask somebody to help you.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And, to also add to that point, TJ, because you made some very excellent points. One of the things that you said is delegate based off of their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give tasks to people that are strong in that area, or even if you don't have anyone on the team that is necessarily strong in that area, then rely on their potential,
Mm-hmm.
And work with them and cultivate them, and groom them into, being what you need for that particular task.
Absolutely.
And it's also important too to not overextend those individuals that's great in one area, but you always want to train up talent as well, so that you'll have a pool of individuals that you can pull from, versus only relying on that one individual. Because guess what? What if they're sick? What if they choose a different career opportunity?
Absolutely.
What if they want to grow? Because something that I see so common is leaders stop great talent's growth because they're afraid of losing them, because they know that their absence from the team is going to impact their production. But when you groom and you build up talent, that will make you a more effective and better leader, because now you're pushing your team to reach greater.
That's good.
And you're not worried about holding them back because you're afraid of, the production that they brought to the team.
Absolutely. No, you hit it on the head, Vince.
Indeed. All right. So at this time, we are going to open the floor for any questions, comments. So some of the comments on Facebook is true. Please say that. So our viewers are in full agreement with just some of the things that's been shared today. And then for our friends over at Clubhouse, we'll open the floor to you. If you raise your hand, we'll bring you up as a speaker for you to add any comments to tonight's discussion. Now, to our Clubhouse listeners, as we're preparing to wrap up our live on Facebook, we're going to run through announcements really quickly, and then we'll get to you in a few moments. All right, so for our announcements, registration is open for our Secrets to Earning Your Worth webinar. You do not want to miss out on this webinar. This is powerful, powerful content. Right now is an excellent time to revisit, have the conversations with your bosses about salary renegotiations, also to your career path and plan. So it's a great time to talk to them about that. And the Secrets to Earning Your Worth webinar is certainly bound to help you enhance your skill sets so that you can have a more effective conversation with your boss.
And if you are not busy on Tuesday evenings, we have the perfect opportunity for you to meet with us every Tuesday here at 6:30 as we share in dialogue on the Upskill forum with topics that you have sent us to discuss. In addition to that, topics that will really help you continue to excel in your career. Every Tuesday at 6:30. Join us here either on Clubhouse or Facebook Live.
And schedule your one-on-one consultation today by emailing us at engageus@agile-consultinggroup.com.
Join our private group on Facebook for professionals and entrepreneurs. This is an opportunity for you to glean from other entrepreneurs, other professionals, and then just hear some really good information that we share with you from the Agile Consulting Group.
And like us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Follow us on Instagram at Agile Consulting Group, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel so you will not miss an episode of the Upskill Forum. All right. So to our Facebook viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to hang out with our friends over at Clubhouse for a little bit. So if you're on Clubhouse platform, run over to Clubhouse so that you can join in on the discussion as we continue our topic tonight on what makes a good leader. So we talked through knowledge and understanding, skills and ability, teamwork, vision, being a risk taker, valuing others, having the art of delegation, recognition, and encouragement. So those are some of the secret ingredients needed to be an effective leader. If you're someone you know think can benefit from the content that was shared today, please share this video, tag them in the comment section so that they can watch the replay. All right, now as we end all of our live commentary with our motto here at Agile Consulting Group, live agile, work agile, succeed agile. Until next week, our friends.